And now, the B Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global. Support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The move.
You might not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? Cause we're steady on the ground, steady on the ground. You wanna mess with us? Cause we're steady.
Alright, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Who the Fuck Cares? It's Patreon Day. We're talking all sorts of things today. We're doing the call-in show. Joining me for the first time ever on a call-in show, Riley. How are you?
I'm good. You got me out of bed for this, so I'm a bit tired, but I'm good. I'm here.
I got you out of bed. It is like 7:57 at night as we record this. Why were you in bed already?
Not already. Still. Still.
Right. So this is a Thursday that we're recording this. I just want this on record that you sleep
I work
all
night
through the
shift.
day on a Thursday.
I work night shift, bro.
Fair enough. Let's get to some of the callers. We're going to talk wrestling. Do you have any wrestling you want to talk before we bring anyone else in?
No, not particularly. I'm here for it. I'm here to be attacked.
Here to be attacked. Let's bring in our first caller, all the way from the UK. Akil, how you doing, brother?
I'm amazing. How are you, Greg? How are you, Riley?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm alright. I just got the kids out of the house so I can actually talk uninterrupted on this call-in show for like the first time in months.
I've just woken up, so I'm very low energy right now.
You've just woken up. What time is it over there?
It is 10 a.m.
You don't pick on him for just waking up.
You literally didn't give me time to. Why are you only just waking up at 10 a.m.? Half the day is gone, my man.
Listen, Greg, I've got a week off. Let me enjoy it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What do you want to talk to us about today, man?
I mean, we've had long conversations about how I hate everything about wrestling right now.
Yeah, you've
But
fallen
there's
out of
one
love.
thing which is, wrestling is crap. Who cares? But one thing has brought me back. Orange Cassidy in PWA's Coliseum show just got announced like an hour ago.
Hells yeah!
So hyped.
Dude, I
Orange
popped
fucking Cassidy.
so hard when I watched that video and it came up freshly squeezed. I didn't even wait for the Orange Cassidy. I was like, holy shit! And then in came my kids running from the room where I had them cleaning because they're going out tonight. They come running in, they're just like, what happened? And I swear, my daughter just learned how to call 000. And so I was worried she was going to call the police because I popped that fucking hard for it, man.
It's so cool. The thing is, I think it's stuff like this which is going to make Coliseum feel like a really, really big show. Fair enough, you had Carl Fletcher there last year, but bringing in major imports like Orange Cassidy, who's maybe one of the hottest acts in wrestling right now, is a big, big deal. And it's something different. He's not a kind of guy that flies around all that often, you know? It's not like he's on every Aussie show. He's a major import. He's not really. He doesn't really go many places.
No, he doesn't.
So it differentiates themselves. I'm so hyped, Greg.
I'm very hyped, man. I'm very hyped. I told you as you sort of got out of your car, Riley.
Yeah. I'm fucking stoked because I was actually, like, when I was in Melbourne 2 weeks ago, I was talking to the booker of World Series about bringing Orange Cassidy over. And he seemed interested in the idea, so hopefully that's a thing that he does for us as well.
So we get more Orange Cassidy in
More.
Australia. More.
He just has to enjoy his time here so that he wants to come back. So hopefully they don't book him like shit.
I don't think they will. So the Coliseum is a 2-day tournament. I think he'll lose on the first night. Like he'll get eliminated from the tournament, and then he'll have like a fun match the next day, like maybe Big Fudge or something. Like just do some stupid shit. How good would Orange Cassidy versus Big Fudge be?
I'm so excited for that. Just the prospect of that is amazing. I love Big Fudge so much.
Just imagine Orange Cassidy kicking the garbage bag.
Oh my
Just
God.
the visual, right? Just he doesn't give a shit. He's just like, I'm gonna kick this garbage bag. You're the garbage man.
Phenomenal.
It's so good. I'm getting hard just thinking about it.
Calm down, boy. Done, boy.
So you're
Done,
gonna
boy.
fly over then? You're gonna fly over? Like, you know, some of our guys go over there for Super Strong Style. You know, our other Patreon backer who couldn't make it tonight, Jules. He flew over for Super Strong Style. You're gonna fly over here for Coliseum.
Yeah. I'm checking my flights now. You know.
This isn't a joke.
When is it?
Sounds sarcastic.
I know.
I don't do sarcasm. God.
I'm flying up. I'm going to the show for sure. I'm very excited for it.
When is it?
It's in October, man. October 18th and 19th. So I don't know what that is for you because time travel, but it's all going to be live on OVOplay as well. It's time travel when
It's
you
not
fly.
time travel. It's like a day. It's a day.
But it's time travel.
It's actually September for us.
Yeah. See? So October 18th and 19th, it's like September 23rd for you. So I don't know how you can
Yeah.
work it out, but you got to find a way, man. It's going to be, I feel like Coliseum is going to be our super strong style. It's going to be our destination show that people do travel for. I already know people going up from Melbourne, people going across from Western Australia.
The thing is, it's like less than 2 weeks after WWE is there as well.
No, it's 2 days before WWE are there.
Isn't it? 2 weeks. What?
So so they're on the 18th and 19th, and WWE are on the 21st and 22nd.
Oh, they're usually at the start. Okay.
Yeah. WWE's 21st and 22nd.
Yeah,
so,
but do you think people will... I mean, it's two different crowds, I guess.
yeah, WWE aren't coming here to Adelaide, so I'm staying in Sydney.
We already know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So I'm staying in Sydney for the WWE shows. Because I thought, like, when the WWE shows were announced, it's like a Monday and a Tuesday, and I was like, maybe we're getting tapings? Because we're ahead of America, so they could tape it and then air it. But I don't think that's happening, because it's just been branded WWE Live.
Yeah. Well,
So they're
the
just
one
house shows.
Yeah, just house shows.
The one that we just had in October gone is that was the first time they've like taped or like recorded.
Well, they went
so,
live, that one, the
Yeah.
network. Super Showdown, not the Saudi one.
So
Super Show Dash Down, actually.
Show Dash Down, right, my bad.
and then before
down.
that,
Don't
the
forget the
last
dash.
time they bothered like televising what happened here was Global Warning Tour, which was like what 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
The Rock and Triple H and
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. They don't like us very much.
I can feel Akil glazing over because we're starting to talk about WWE right now.
Yep. Sorry.
You know, Australia's not real, so it doesn't matter. They can go whenever they want.
We're all actors on this flat earth.
Yeah, this is all just a massive ruse to confuse me.
Orange Cassidy's just being reprogrammed because on this simulated flat earth, Australia's not even a real part of the simulation. So he's just being taken out for a couple weeks to be recoded.
Right, but then why? What has he done?
I don't know, maybe they're going to up his intensity levels.
Can they? Can they possibly make Orange Cassidy more intense?
I doubt it. Do you have anything else for us, Akil?
Not really. Wrestling is bad. Brit Rest is dead. Long live the revolution.
See, here's the thing with Akil, Riley. He used to be our BritRes guy. He'd come on once a month, we'd talk BritRes. And then when the whole NXT UK thing happened, he was just like, BritRes is dead! It's done!
It broke me. It broke
Put a
my
pin in
brain.
it! Stop the conversation.
We've cancelled wrestling in this country.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We did a BritRest episode where we just talked about the Iconics for an hour.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We did. We talked about
Yeah.
what was it? The women's tag titles being portals to other dimensions.
Yeah.
That was a really
'Cause-
bad episode, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, it's a real classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm gonna have to re-up it as like a, you know how Steve Austin does his Steve Austin show classics. I'll do a B+ classic, and I'll do one a month, and it'll just always be that show. All right, man. If that's all you got for us, I'm gonna move on to the next caller. Yeah.
Cool.
Have a good one, buddy.
Hey.
You too.
I hated wrestling for a while.
You hated wrestling for a while.
Yeah, I went through my phase. It was about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I just
I fell
wasn't
out.
feeling it.
I fell out for a while in like 2000, like the Dolph Ziggler, Miz, like when they were the sort of more on top guys. I
Yeah.
fell out for a bit.
Yeah, that's when I wasn't. I just wasn't.
When did you come back?
I don't know. Maybe around, I don't know.
Road to WrestleMania 30 for me.
I don't know.
That's when I came back.
I've dropped in and out over the years just because it's been drop in and outable.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Even indie wrestling goes through phases like that.
yeah.
Bringing in Ben. Have you ever dropped in and out of wrestling, Ben, or are you a constant all the time lifelong fan?
Oh, well, I first got into wrestling when I was in grade 9 back in high school, and the only wrestling that was available to me at the time was on Channel 9 or Win TV here in Tasmania, and it was WCW Nitro. It was a 1 hour version. This is when they were in their
condensed one.
This is when they were in the 3 hour Nitro period, but it was condensed into 1 hour, and it was 11 weeks behind, and it was on at midnight. So I'd stay up to midnight, and I'd either watch it or I would hit record on the VCR and go to sleep, and often record the wrong channel somehow or really screw that up.
Mm.
And then there was the time of year when the swimming championships would be on that channel at midnight, and they just wouldn't. And I'd stay up till midnight, and then night there's like, no, it comes back in another couple of weeks, and then it's like 13 weeks behind.
Yeah. I remember when mine was like when it was Superstars was on one of the channels. I can't even remember what channel it was. Like I would have been like 8 or 9 years old, and WWF Superstars was on. And like I used to sneak into my sister's room because my sister had a VHS recorder. Like there was one in the lounge room too, but my parents would suss onto it. Like, and my dad would watch TV late, so I had to sneak into my sister's room and put it on to record because that was on at like 1. But she always worked that night. And so I would sneak in there, I would pop in the VHS, and I would set it up to record, and then I'd wake up the next morning, I'd have to fast forward through or whatever the fuck else was on before it to get to WWF Superstars. That was my childhood watching wrestling.
I watched I remember when they used to be, so there would be Raw and then there would be Fox 8 Plus 2, so I'd watch the same one 2 hours later. And then on the weekend there was Heat, there was Superstars, there was The Experience, there was Velocity. There was just all these shows that were exactly the same fucking thing.
They just replay the highlights.
But I would watch every single one, and then 2 hours later, I'd watch every single one all over again.
That's amazing. That's dedication right there. So what do you got for us to talk about today, Ben?
Well, you actually just reminded me of something. I've got a question, and I don't know if you guys can answer it, or if maybe a listener, or maybe someone that's even in the Discord here. Going back to it was 2001 or 2002 on Raw, here in Australia. So in Tasmania we had Foxtel. No, we had Ozstar, and I suppose it was Foxtel or whatever on the mainland.
Yeah.
And one night, there to watch Monday Night Raw at my friend's place, and Raw wasn't on. They just played in its place some Australian wrestling event, and without advertising, we had no who the hell are all these people? And it was in a mostly empty arena, and this memory came into my head a couple of days ago, and I was thinking what promotion was that?
I do know there were some super shows around that time.
But they played it in the place of
branded
Raw
with a promotion. But I think they're available on IWA Rewind. So I guess we'd say IWA. If it's the shows I'm thinking of, you can actually still watch them on IWA Rewind.
But why would they put that on instead of Raw?
To trick you. Tricks you into viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm telling you, man, if I could put my podcast on Talk is Jericho's feed, you think I wouldn't fucking do it? People tune in, they think they're getting a Moxley interview. Surprise! I'm talking to Robbie Eagles for the 3rd time this year.
Yeah.
Are you complaining?
No, absolutely not.
Robbie
I love
Eagles
Robbie.
is a sweetheart.
I love Robbie Eagles. I'm not complaining.
He's a
He'd be
lovely
the best guy
guy
for that episode too. But
Yeah. Oh, what did I come to talk about? Well, I was just thinking what wrestling I went to lately. I'm always going to wrestling. I went to 9 wrestling shows in Japan over a 7-day period, but I'm not really here to talk about that. But
that's
it was
intense.
I'm here to
it was all
talk
pretty
about
phenomenal. Yeah, it ended on night 3 at Korakuen for the New Japan Best of Super Juniors.
Nice.
So that's the night that Robbie faced Doki, and Robbie got that big cut on his head.
Yeah.
And I was standing I was as far away as possible in that building as I could possibly be from it, but it's like, well, it looks like there's a bit of blood down there.
I can smell it.
And after, I could smell the iron. Yeah.
Can smell
like a bunch of
wrestler blood
5-cent
from a
pieces.
mile
That's,
away.
that's the best part about being live for a death match, though.
Oh, that wasn't the death.
Smelling.
I was at a death match though. I was at a Freedom show, sitting in the front row at Shinkiba First Ring, and it was a tag match. Not that there was any tagging going on, but Jun Kasei was in it.
Nice.
And I don't know if you saw the pictures on Instagram, but it was a light tube death match, and just getting slammed onto the light tubes, and his back was absolutely full of glass, and just back with absolutely covered in blood. If you haven't seen it,
I probably would
I'll
have
send
seen
it
the
through to you.
pictures. It sounds vaguely familiar, but
Yeah.
I mean, I spend so much time on social media looking at wrestling that it all blurs. And you're talking a few weeks ago now.
Would they have
Yeah.
to specify a light tube death match when every death match seems to have light tubes anyway?
Yeah, well, I was really hoping to get it. Like, I had this Freedoms thing on the cards, and it's like, God, I saw that it said death match, but they hadn't. I was excited when they started hanging the light tubes up, and then I could see what was coming for the main event. But the first match on that Freedoms show, those Freedoms always do these death matches, but the very first match, it was just like this whole grapple fest where they were just trying to put each other in like leg bars and arm bars. It seemed like in eternity, and then I think there might have only been like one body slam in the entire match, and I think somebody might have even won off it. So there was one slam in the whole match where they were just going for each other's ankle or wrist the entire time. I
This
thought,
is like the deathmatch fed equivalent of a Young Lions match. You're not allowed to do anything.
yeah, pretty much.
Did you get to any Stardom shows while you were over there?
No, there was no Stardom on in Tokyo while I was there, but I did.
Oh, that's
My
your fault.
very first show of all 9 was Sendai Girls,
Nice.
and the equivalent Young Lions match of that had a 16-year-old girl, and I'm not sure how old the other one was, but the entire time I'm wincing, like they were just building the shit out of each other, and I'm just like,
They start
God,
they're
I-
like 9 years old over there.
Yeah.
it's like, I don't feel so comfortable watching this because they're just brutalizing each other.
Yeah. It's a different culture. I asked about Stardom specifically because I know you're an MCW guy, and no one's talked to me about Avery heading to the 5-star Grand Prix.
So is that their G1 equivalent? I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
know.
their G1 equivalent. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, Pro Wrestling Eve have the She One, which I think just brilliantly named. But but yeah, the 5-star Grand Prix is their version of the G1. So she's going over for like all the block action, and it's like a 2-week stint or whatever in Stardom. So I'm really stoked for her. So I just thought what you thought of the
When
announcement.
is that on? So she's fully recovered now, is she?
No, so it's not for a couple of months. They've just announced the
Okay.
competitors, but so
Cool.
I think she's recovered. She's heading to the UK, and then she's there for a couple months, and then heading to. I should know the dates. I mean, I just brought it up, but I brought it up on a whim because I didn't know we were talking about your Japan trip. So
I wasn't ready for this.
I was not.
I wasn't expecting to talk about my Japan trip. I was going to say WSW because I went to that recently. So, Riley, were you in you at the Melbourne shows, were you?
Yeah, I was night 2.
Okay, yeah, I went to both of them. I was sitting in the front row.
Me too.
I'm a bit, oh God,
I was right front and center. I had a bitch with me who was on crutches.
yeah, I think I remember seeing some of the crutches. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
was very
You can't
drunk.
say- You can't say that you had a bitch with you.
I can call her that. It's fine. She was my pack horse for the night as well. She carried around the like 75 shirts I bought. So
Nice.
So, is that your first WSW show?
no, I've been to every single one for like a couple of years now. So
Like since they
Okay.
started.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm
literally-
not new.
Pretty sure I saw you at the first one in Adelaide.
Yeah.
This was my 1-year anniversary of the Melbourne one, so I've always gone night 1 and 2 for Melbourne. Always in the front row as well, where I'm sort of getting a little bit over paying $120 for front row. I wouldn't mind sitting up in the stands once in a while.
At
Just
the last Adelaide show,
different
I
experience.
swear, the last Adelaide show that was at HQ, you were in the 3rd row.
No, I wasn't. I was in the second row.
Second row. Well, my bad.
Hey, there's a
sorry.
price difference. Okay.
All right. Well, at the Adelaide show at HQ, you were in the 2nd row, and
Yes.
I was up in the like stands thing and standing room, and I was like, I swear I had a better view than
No, you
because I was like right above the ring. I was right above the ring.
And I was about 3 feet away from Joey Ryan's fine ass.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing with Riley. You know that she's not gonna miss a World Series wrestling show because
No.
Joey Ryan's been on every single
I
fucking
will-
one.
Yeah, no. I won't miss
Well-
one anyway.
Yeah.
Riley, do you remember at the previous tour when the lollipop went into Gino's ass, and then went into a girl's mouth?
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah. So
Do you know what? I
that's-
actually
That's my friend's wife,
Oh my god.
but
The
they're not
night
my
that
friends
I went
anymore. So
to-
my podcast are dead because of that.
The night that I went to the one at HQ, I actually spoke to Joey Ryan, and he apologized for not giving me the blow pop because I was in the 2nd row and he couldn't see me that time, which is the first time, mind you, I've actually like ever been in the 2nd row. I'm a 1st row guy. It's all I do.
Yeah.
There's no.
So what was
I'm
your
not gonna waste my
standout match
time.
from night 2? What was your standout match?
Do you remember the night?
I was very drunk.
Well,
I distinctly remember making Flip Gordon touch my eyebrows. So I. What can I say?
I don't remember that.
Let's make an impression.
Do you remember
I was
the
gonna say
matches? Is the question?
Yeah, look, I'm just gonna say Lucha Brothers just held it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that
I'm a
match.
simple man.
That triple tag match or whatever you call it with the
Yeah.
had the Philipes, the Lucha Bros, and the flipping machines like that. Man, it was a huge spot fest, and I don't always like that kind of stuff, but in person, it's always a fun time just seeing people do that crazy shit.
So I wasn't there, obviously, because I'm over here in Adelaide, but Riley was snapping me like a million videos. Often with like her drunk ass reacting instead of the action in the ring. She's like got the camera. Oh, that's the wrong camera, but she doesn't even notice. But no, there was one in the Joey Janela match when he was just like, "Fuck Jim Cornette." I popped hard for that.
I know. That was good.
That was great.
I really
There was some
wish I
really
in
annoying
Sydney.
guy sitting near us. He kept on trying to start a chant. It was like he just wouldn't stop, and then
There's
he was
always those people. I'm like, let it
he was-
go.
he was getting drinks like during like halfway through the main event. He was coming back with like 2 cans of Jim Beam still. It's like, God, they should stop serving this guy. And then, yeah, he was very annoying.
It's probably what
Yeah.
people were saying about me.
The WSW crowds get those people though. There's in Sydney they have a concerted effort. They're called the Boo It Club, and they go specifically like they call themselves the Boo It Club, and they organize on Facebook, and they go specifically to boo Robbie Eagles and Shazza McKenzie.
What a bunch of wankers.
Yeah, just jerks. Like, how
Wanker
do you
club.
care that much about how well a person is doing that you're going to go out of your way to organize a group of people to be like, boo, you suck. Like, it's so...
Mate, you
Get a
need
life.
Get a real hobby. Like, do some puzzles or something.
Yeah.
There was people there booing Slex saying that you're still shit. I was like, oh, meet
Yeah,
you
they
in the
push
car
the guys
park,
that
mate.
they think are... They boo the guys that they think are over-pushed or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, man. It's weird.
I just go get a drink when I have someone like that. Like,
When there's someone you don't want to see.
yeah, I just go
That's
get a
it.
drink.
Don't concern yourself with shit you don't like, and then cheer the shit you like.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the attitude, man. I love that. All right, you got anything else for us? Because we've got to get to our final caller.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the Melbourne New Japan show. So I was there and in the second row, and for the money that I spent for it, it was a bit overpriced. Or not as overpriced as the Sydney show, mind you, so I can't
Sydney
complain
show
that
was
much.
expensive.
But it just felt like a Road 2 show. It wasn't any, like, obviously they're not going to put on a Dominion or Wrestle Kingdom kind of experience for people, and I didn't expect that either. But obviously the highlight was Robbie Eagles versus Will Ospreay. Like, I've heard from like other podcast people that have watched it not in person, and they like, oh, it's like 4.25, maybe 4.5 stars. But when you're like in there, and I made myself believe that Robbie was actually going to win it. Like going into the show, it's like he's not going to win it. But then it's like, holy shit, he could win.
When he locks on that Ron Miller special, you always believe for a second, man. You always believe for a second. It's a magical move.
And he kicked out from the shooting star press at 1. It's like, holy shit, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then and Will Ospreay played a heel beautifully. Like there was all the fuck you Ospreay chants. It was awesome to be there and see that live. And hopefully the Sydney show goes online. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that.
It should, because
It was filmed, but they've never
they filmed
come
it,
out
and
and
there
said
was commentary.
anything.
There was commentary. I know Concrete Davidson
Oh, okay.
posted that he was doing commentary for it. So
Oh,
you're not going to
okay.
film commentary for something that's... Unless it was like an
Okay.
audition for him or something.
All right. I didn't realize they did that. So
Yeah. But it definitely did feel like a Road 2 show. Like, I watched it. I was at Adelaide Championship Wrestling, but at the same time, I had the fight stream going on my phone. So I was I was watching both. but
that's
it was-
multitasking.
Yeah, well, I went outside. I missed 2 matches on the show. I missed Matt Hayter and Rocky Monero and Jack Rossley versus, I believe it was Duke Marshall. And I went outside because that was when the Robbie and Ospreay match was on. I was like, I want full focus on this match. I
didn't realize
on that match.
I didn't realize that Rocky Monero was a real wrestler. I thought that was a parody Twitter account of Rocky Romero.
Yeah. The first time I saw Rocky Monero, I was just like, well, that's an unfortunate name because of Rocky Romero. But no, so I missed those matches, unfortunately. But I did, I caught the New Japan show, and it did feel like a Road 2 show. But that's what I expected anyway, because when the GM Michael Craven was doing all the interviews on the podcasts here and stuff, he didn't do mine, even though I have a dedicated New Japan podcast. No worries, bro. All good. He was doing all the podcasts, and he said that this is kind of like a road to G1, right? And it's going to continue some stories and stuff. So it was kind of what I expected. But I'm gonna mute you there, Ben. We're gonna say goodbye, and we're gonna bring in Ibs from Sydney. All right, see you, Ben.
Okay, see you. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Ibs, how you doing, man?
I am well. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. Starting to get tired at this point.
I was always tired, but I'm still good.
How are you tired? You just woke up.
Because I just woke up, Greg. That's why I'm tired.
Fair enough. Are you tired, Ibs?
I am. Well, I rushed back from the gym just to get here. My training session went too long, but I'm very excited to do the show.
And then we
as you
put
may
you
know,
on
been a long.
last.
I know, right?
Sorry,
It's all right. I'm watching the footy. I'm watching the footy as we're doing this. So I'm all good.
Who's winning?
Melbourne.
It
Ugh.
doesn't matter who's winning. I have no idea about
yes.
football at all.
The football.
Yes. Is this the one where they throw it at the ground, or is it the one where they get
Has anyone
tackled?
got touchdowns yet?
No, this is the one where the grown men touch each other.
The finger in the bum one.
That's the exact one.
I remember that one.
I remember that well.
Yeah, at school, everyone talk about the Hopawadi. I remember that. That's a dated fucking reference, that is.
Oh, he's a scary man in real life. So he's actually at one stage. So for those who don't know, I'm a DJ as well. So he used to be a
Ibs.
bouncer, and that's me. He used to be a bouncer in clubs, and I tell you now, if he tried to put a finger up my bum, I wouldn't say no, because he is a scary, scary man.
I thought you were going to say he's a sexy, sexy man. I was going to be like, oh, we're turning the lights down. That's what we're doing. So what did you want to talk about, man?
I went to a few shows over a span of 7 days, and they all kind of connect. I went to WSW, which was a really, really good show, as per usual. Joey Janela is an absolute superstar. He had a match with Joey Ryan in Sydney. It was a hardcore match, and there's probably obviously a few videos going around of that. But my absolute favourite part of that was the chants that happened. Let's go, Joey. Joey sucks. So, and they got a kick out of it. And I was really worried because during the match, you see Joey Janela actually whack his hand on a chair, and his hand instantly blew up to the size of a balloon. And I'm like, because I'm, as you may know, I'm a massive AEW fan, and I was so excited to see him versus Moxley. And then once I saw his hand blow up, and I'm like, oh crap, is this going to mean he's going to be out of the match? But no. And that leads me on to Fighter Fest. Again, amazing show. The Moxley Janela match was absolutely unreal. Absolutely love the Street Fighter entrance of the Elite, which was really, really good. And then obviously the Lucha Bros are the Lucha Bros. You can't say a bad word about them.
Best tag team in the world.
But I'm going to doubt that. I'm going to go Moretti and Bonza are better. But
Okay.
that's my PWA.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's my PWAI.
That's fair.
But the one show I really want to talk about, so I was lucky enough to go to the, I was about to say Super Showdown again, Southern Showdown, the New Japan show. I'd probably say, and if it does end up going on New Japan World, I would probably skip up until the intermission. It was mostly just Fale guys. You did have Moretti versus Bonza, which is always going to be a good match. But that main event, mate, that was absolutely unreal. Like, just being in that vicinity with Tanahashi and Okada obviously was absolutely amazing. But the most amazing part is how over Robbie Eagles is. Now, I understand, obviously, he's in Sydney, it's his home crowd, but you think in a match versus Ospreay, Okada, Tanahashi, that he probably wouldn't get in favour. The whole crowd would not stop chanting Robbie Eagles' name the entire time. And the promo he cut afterwards, obviously, after the whole thing happened, and he was in shock in how people were chanting his name when he's standing in the ring with Okada and Tanahashi, which is obviously the bee's knees of Japanese wrestling.
Yeah. And so he got to do the traditional New Japan closing the show promo, did he, in Sydney?
Yeah, no, all three of them did. So obviously after the whole thing happened, when he turned on the Bullet Club and joined Chaos, it was absolute goosebumps moment. And then he cut a promo, Tanahashi cut a promo, and then Okada got on the mic after some pushing from the crowd and just done the Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah, which is what he did in the Melbourne show too. And a lot of people were upset that Robbie and Ospreay didn't main event the first show, the Melbourne one. But at the end of the day, you got to have that classic New Japan end of show promo, and you'd usually so Okada doing that for Melbourne made sense. You wouldn't want Will Ospreay after beating the hometown hero to cut that promo. So,
Well,
but
I
having
honestly-
Robbie do it in Sydney
sorry.
makes a lot of sense.
I honestly thought they were going to do the look. You could kind of see the Robbie turn coming. Obviously, it started in the Best in Super Juniors when him and El Phantasmo had their little spat in the Ospreay match. But I honestly thought they were going to do the Robbie joining Chaos at the Melbourne show purely because it was like Stream Worldwide on Fight. I honestly didn't expect it happening at the Sydney show.
Yeah.
It was a really, really amazing experience. And and one match I did forget about was Ishii versus Hanare. Holy
I've
crap.
seen bits and pieces of this like on social media. They just beat the shit out of each other.
My chest is sore from that match, and I was lucky enough to sit front row right in front of the hard cam, so hopefully you'll see me on there. Mate, you talk about hard hitting. Legitimately, my face and chest were sore after watching that match. Like, it was absolutely brutal. Like, they absolutely beat the living crap out of each other. One real highlight, I love Gino. Gino Gambino is one of my absolute favorites in Aussie wrestling, and he really, really worked the comedy in there. I think they had a 6-man tag. It was God, Gino versus Mikey Nichols, Juice, and the last person's
Was it
slipping
Yano?
my name. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Yano
That was a
and Juicy
really,
would be
really fun.
amazing.
So Gino the entire time he'd make Tungaloa and Tamatonga go in, do all the beating of them, and then as soon as the other person was down on the ground, he'd ask for a tag in and try to get the pin. They kick out, he'd do the same thing again. It was absolutely it was perfect. It was absolutely hilarious. And God played along with it absolutely amazingly well. It's going to be good to watch on. I don't know how good it's going to be to watch, but live it absolutely got the crowd going. It was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good show, actually, to be honest with you.
As I said, up until the intermission, it was a bit lackluster. A lot of the guys were just the Farley guys and the Sydney guys, but after the intermission, it was absolutely amazing. And just having Tanahashi, Okada, Ospreay, Farley for what he's done for this country, Jay White was absolutely unreal. And then you had Robbie to top it all off, who was absolutely... I've never seen someone more over. And even going back to the WSW show, so Robbie wasn't actually on the show. But right before the main event between Marty and Penta, the whole crowd was just chanting Robbie Eagles.
He's not even here.
Mate,
I'm not even meant to
He's
be here
absolutely
today.
He doesn't go here.
no, but it was really good. And obviously now very excited for PWA Coliseums, and Orange Cassidy's been announced.
Hells
You
yes.
disagreed with me.
Yeah. Keen.
You disagree with me. I wanted to see him versus Matty Warburg because I think the promos that Matty Warburg will cut prior will be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know, because Orange Cassidy takes away Matty Wahlberg's power, right? Because Orange Cassidy don't give a shit. Talk
But that would
about
be
trash,
good.
bro. It's gonna do fucking nothing to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy doesn't care about your trash talk. He barely cares about the wrestling.
Look, I think I'm just a big Matty Warburg mark, and I just want to see him in another big match because
I want to see Matty Wahlberg win in the
to...
Coliseum. That's what I want to see.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be down for that.
So that's
But-
why I say no. I don't, unless he's first round Matty Wahlberg versus Orange Cassidy, and then you get the Orange Cassidy silly match the next night, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, I would love to see Matty Wahlberg versus Orange Cassidy. I think they'd do good work, especially with the whole hands in the pocket spot and stuff. I think Matty could have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, no, I think Big Fudge would be great. And then in the Coliseum tournament, you need to have him against someone really straight, like Gavin McGavin would be amazing, or Adam Hoffman, who if you listen to the Aussie Graps show, which comes out tomorrow, Adam Hoffman specifically says they better put me in the fucking Coliseum this year. so he's angling for a spot. I'd like to see Adam Hoffman against Orange Cassidy. Jack Bonds obviously is the perfect straight man for anyone. Who would you like to see, Riley?
I don't know. Just, you know what? I'm down with Orange Cassidy just busting out and being there by himself, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe like Orange Cassidy versus the Invisible Man.
Yeah. Just have Orange Cassidy come out and read a book
Yep.
to the crowd,
Yep.
like Teddy Hart did on the Orange Cassidy show over WrestleMania weekend.
I don't know. I haven't looked much into Coliseum, so I don't even know what I'm working with here.
Well, the PWA roster is the safe bet, but they're pulling all the best talent from around Australia and the world. So when I saw the video go up and it said all the best talent from around Australia and the world, I was like, oh, Will Ospreay's coming for Coliseum.
Cool.
And it wasn't. It was Orange Cassidy. I was so fucking stoked. Not that I wouldn't have been stoked for Will Ospreay, but Orange fucking Cassidy. I can't get Orange. We started the show with Orange Cassidy. Let's end the show with Orange Cassidy.
Let's just keep frothing it.
Thanks for coming on the show, Ibs, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, see you, buddy. Now, Riley, before we go,
Yes.
is there any final thoughts?
No.
No?
No, I just got out the car and you've informed me about Orange Cassidy, so that's where my mind is right now.
We're going to end on Orange Cassidy.
I distinctly remember drunkenly telling the World Series booker to book Janela and Orange Cassidy so they could do that thing they did again, because
The
the
people
thing.
can't see.
Oh, they can't see my hands.
No, this is not a visual medium.
Yeah, they were dressed the same.
half the
love that.
Riley allure is gone because of the.
I know.
It's not visual.
What am I supposed to do without my looks?
Yeah, we'll have to switch to a video podcast.
Oh, we're gonna have to, because
and
I
then-
got nothing.
Then you can be even later.
I can.
You have
I
to
can.
get even more ready. But no, where can people
Jesus.
find you online if they want to see you ready?
Ready. Ready and touched up. Except on my Instagram story. You can find me on Instagram at Riley_3.16.
And I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at The Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B Plus Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And if you want to get in on one of these call-in shows, you got to get on the Patreon, patreon.com/the B Plus for as little as $3 a month. You will join the Discord. And well, I think, like I said, I think I'm going to open the Discord up. We were talking about this before. But anyway, whatever. Show's over, guys. Thank you for listening.
I don't know what a Discord is.